Hello everyone. This video presents a notable event that happened on each day from the past week in history. On May 26, 1951, Sally Ride was born in Los Angeles, California. She would grow up to earn degrees from Stanford University and in June of 1983 became the first American woman to take a ride into space via the Space Shuttle Challenger. Ride became the third woman space explorer, having been preceded into space by Soviet cosmonauts Belarusian Valentina Tereshkova in 1963 and Russian Svetlana Savitskaya in 1982. Since the flights of these history-making women have made over 75 space flights by at least 70 women. In 2010, a record was set by 4 women being in space at the same time. Women from 10 or more countries and ethnicities have made the launch into space, and sadly, 4 of these intrepid ladies have died in conjunction with spaceflight. Sally Ride died in 2012 at the age of 61 of pancreatic cancer. Who is your favorite female astronaut? On May 27, 1996, President Boris Yeltsin of Russia met with Chechen rebels to negotiate a ceasefire in what is known as the First Chechen War. The Chechen Republic is an almost autonomous region within the Russian Federation, which fought a war for independence from December of 1994 to August of 1996. The Chechen people lost as many as 14,000 fighters killed in the war and another 80,000 to 100,000 civilians slain. The Russians lost about 3,000 to 5,000 killed. A second Chechen war was fought from 1999 to 2009. Chechnya is part of Russia, and the people are mainly Muslims of the Caucasian ethnic group, about 1.5 million strong, with an area of about 6,700 square miles. Chechnya was first absorbed by Russia around 1723. As a question for my students and subscribers, do you know anyone of Chechen descent? On May 28, 2017, Japanese race car driver Takuma Sato won the Indianapolis 500 motor race, making history as the first Asian and the first Japanese driver to take the big prize. Proving his Indy prowess was not a fluke, Sato won the Indy 500 again in 2020, becoming the 20th driver to claim 2 victories at Indianapolis. Sato, born in Tokyo in 1977, has also won titles in other racing formats, including the Macau Grand Prix, the Masters of Formula 3, and the British Formula 3. In 2004, he placed 8th for the season in the Formula 1 World Drivers' Championship, the highest placing for a Japanese driver to date. He had won his first Indy car race at the 2013 Grand Prix of Long Beach, the first Japanese driver to take the checkered flag in an IndyCar event. On May 29, 2023, Americans celebrate National Paperclip Day, possibly the single most useful implement ever devised. Just ask MacGyver. Patented by Samuel B. Fay in 1867, his intention for the bent metal clip was to attach paper tags to clothing or other fabric, although his patent does mention attaching paper to paper. Many other inventors have patented variations on the bent wire paperclip theme. Almost incredibly useful for other applications, paperclips make dandy ammo fired by rubber bands, tools for unclogging small openings, emergency zipper pulls, latches for broken watch bands and necklaces, electrical repairs, eyeglass repairs, all sorts of automotive applications, mini scrapers for cleaning tight places, decorations and craft pieces, emergency handcuff keys, and a seemingly endless variety of other uses. On May 30th, 2020, the Crew Dragon Demo 2 spacecraft was launched from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, courtesy of a Falcon 9 booster rocket from the private firm of SpaceX. The capsule, named Crew Dragon Endeavour, contained 2 astronauts, the first manned spaceflight to launch from the United States since the last space shuttle flight in 2011. The first ever commercial manned orbital spaceflight on behalf of the American government space program was on a mission to link up with the International Space Station and have the 2 American astronauts work with the ISS crew for just over 2 months in space, including spacewalks. The crew returned to the Gulf of Mexico on August 2, 2020, where they were safely recovered, marking an end to the U.S. space hiatus and a new era of space exploration that featured private commercial systems for NASA spaceflights. On May 31st, 1921, one of the saddest examples of racial hatred in American history occurred when white Oklahomans attacked a wealthy black neighborhood of Tulsa, Oklahoma, known as the Greenwood District or just the Black Wall Street. One of the wealthiest black sections of the U.S., the area was home to successful African-American business owners as well as community leaders. The trigger for the attack was an alleged incident of assault on a white girl by a black youth. Before the riot finally ended on June 1st with the National Guard being called out, 26 black residents and 10 white people were dead and hundreds more were injured, although as many as 200 black and 50 white deaths are possible. Property damage was extreme, with 35 of the 40 blocks destroyed. Should the surviving victims or their descendants be compensated for injuries and damages? On June 1st, 1495, a Dominican friar of the Stirling House in Scotland named John Core is the first person named in a written reference to Scotch whiskey, while the first known written reference to Scotch dates from 1494. Although originally written in Latin, a translated version of the entry in the Exchequer rolls is, to Brother John Core by order of the king, to make aqua vitae 8 bowls of malt. Note that the description of the whiskey, aqua vitae, means water of life, an indication of the importance of the liquid refreshment that is Scotch whiskey. You may also note that when referring to Scotch, whiskey is spelled without the E normally found in American spellings of whiskey. Another notable person named in the early references to Scotch whiskey is the apothecary William Fuller of Edinburgh, who is named as providing aqua vitae to the Scottish court in 1506. As a question for my students and subscribers, which event from this past week in history would you most like to learn more about? Please let me know in the comment section below this video. If you liked this video and would like to receive notification of new videos, please feel welcome to subscribe to History in Headlines and become one of our patrons. Your viewership is much appreciated. For image, audio, and other credits and attributions for components of the individual videos in this compilation, please see the descriptions of their respective videos, which are linked to in this video's description.